Ndị be anyị ndewo nke ejiri ya zere ama bụ Mgborie dibịa Nwangu Uchendụ, onye ọkịka shi Ụmụayọm Ọka. Wee na-asị ka ọ dụla anyị ma tata bụ afọ tata fọtara anyị ife ọma, fọpụrụ anyị nke ọjọọ, fọpụrụ anyị ajọ ndụ, fọpụrụ anyị ndị akalụwere ụfọdụ na-akpọ ya akala obori fọpụrụ anyị seke, fọpụrụ anyị ọgbọ n'uke, fọpụrụ anyị ọnwụ ike. Kama afọ tata fọtara anyị awele, ọganiru, mmaji kwuru mmaji, ive akwakụ na ive enwe ka ọ dụkwala anyị mma. Anyị gbuo ere anyị bute mma, anyị gbuo azụ anyị butekwa mma, anyị gbuo n'etiti n'aka nne n'aka ekpe anyị bute mma. Nke onye chiri asị m onye ahụ zerekwa. Ndewonu. Tata isiokwu anyị ji maka ya wee bịa. Unu alaikili ive? Laikili ya? Ive ka eji ama oji efi. Igbo amaka, Igbo mma mmadụ, Igbo mụọnụ, zụọnụ, rienụ, birikwanụ. Tata abụgoro anyị ụbọchị ọma. Ndewonu. Ka onye chiri ya zere. Ekene m ezumezu na ọra mmụọ niile mụ na faso wee bịa ụwa, nke si ikwu nne na nke si ikwu nna, si nke onye chiri ya zere. Kene ezumezu mmụọ niile gbakọrọ na-ege m ntị, ma ndị ọlụ ma ndị ọlụ na-amarọ n'ife gbasalụ ya bụ ọdịnala Igbo. A sị na ọdịnala ya adịkwanụ. Ife a na-eme bụ ife mmụọ, wee na-asị ka Chi Okike gozie anyị ma aka nri n'aka ekpe n'iru na azụ. Anyị gbuo ọrụ anyị bute mma, anyị gbuo azụ anyị bute mma, anyị gbuo n'etiti gbuo n'aka ekpe gbuo n'aka nri, ka ọ dụla anyị mma. Today, basically, I'm going to talk about ochu agbalụ mmadụ. That is a spiritual veil, or let me say spiritual covering. When we are talking about it, it has a lot of connotation. Spiritual veil is that veil that covers you, simply put, that makes people not to see you for who you are, that make people regard you as shit. All this arises from the fact that you are not in good terms with your ezumezu na oramuo. Are you listening? Especially those who are called to serve using the 4 elements. Those who are called to serve mankind and the universe. If you are not aligned, you are going to have problems. Those spirit guide of yours will likely cover you with a spiritual veil. You will not progress. You keep having problems. People will see you and hate you for nothing. Every time cobwebs will be dropping on you. There is nothing you do that works. When others do something and when it's your turn, if you go there, there will be problem. You understand? You will not assume that everybody hates you. Nobody wants anything good to come to you. Even in the midst of people, you are singled out and victimized without knowing the cause. Some spiritual veil can result to lateness in marriage, not getting favor, stagnation, victimization, stigmatization, no favor, no blessing, no progress in your lifetime. You see, these spiritual veils ruins and destroys people. It can reduce you to nothing, whether you are a man or a woman, young or old. You understand? It ties a lot of people down and blocks them from achieving anything goodness in their life. Spiritual veil can be called ocho in Igbo dialect. Ocho agbalụ mmadụ. Mmadụ gbaa gị ocho, mmụọ gbaa gị ocho. I don't know which one is worst. The one from the spirit is worst because nobody will see you as anything. You will not amount to anything. The spiritual covering covers their finance. Whatever they do in buying and selling, nothing will work. They will go from pillar to post, post to pillar. They will buy goods and display it. Nobody will price it. Nobody will even enter that store or shop. You understand? You are always engaged in endless and fruitless struggles without any good result. The veil can come in form of bad luck, hardship, promise and fail, frustration, failure at the age of breakthrough, hatred, lack of finance, lack of financial support from people, sickness, serial disappointment, especially women. The men will only see you that you are only good for the bed, good for sleeping. They will never propose to marry you or keep you as a wife. Rather, you become a bedmate. You understand? You're just a bedmate. What am I saying? Spiritual veil is very, very bad for those who have that kind of problem. You start getting to know, it will come to your notice, when you start experiencing those disappointments. So you have to do something about it. Go for spiritual consultation. Go and make spiritual inquiry. Some people see those who do spiritual inquiry as people who are fetish. They are not. They are not. It is you that is ignorant of the fact that 99% of what happens in this world is spiritual, then only 10% is physical. You are the ignorant one. Like some people say, they can't do anything without consulting their prophet or dibia or spiritualist. There is a reason for that. Some come from background that they had extreme challenges, even up to the point they became what they are. They don't sleep. Constantly, they need spiritual backup. Any chance that they slumber or maybe try to close their eye, the enemy will strike. Have you ever been embattled in spiritual fights with witches? Have you ever made a mistake of living in the midst of witches and wizards? Omo, you no go dey sleep oh. Except you be their member. As long as you are different from them, they will know self. They will fight you day and night, morning, afternoon, evening, midnight. So if you are in the midst of those kind of people, you don't sleep. Bakam 247, you will be awake in the spirit. Ị ga-emu anya na mmụọ, ị ga-emulu anya ka azụ, ị ga-emulu anya ka ọbọgwụ ada alala ụla. That is the duck. Pepeye no dey sleep. That is why most work concerning witchcraft, the duck is used, or duck egg, and a whole lot of others, even dog. So you need to be careful so that the spiritual veil will not render you completely useless. It will not make you to be a fool before your contemporaries. When your contemporaries are achieving things, at least you can boast of one or two things that you have achieved. If not boast, you should be thankful. Because boasting is not good. It's a weakness. I am this, I am that. It's not good. Rather, always be thankful. Give thanks to Chukwu Okike Abiyama. Give thanks to your spiritual guide, Ezumezu Oramuoyochi. Give thanks to Muonejelu Gozi Udo Ogwugwungene. Imuoka. Aketi iyi nne nwanyi nome, nne nwanyi iyi agụ. You have them in your place. One thing with ordinary spirituality is that you need to touch home, go home. So that you become familiar with your spirit guide. You become familiar with the spirits that are keepers of your towns and villages. You don't go and embrace other people's more, like those people now balose. Don't worry, one of these days I will educate you on more balose. Go to your own, acknowledge your own. No more nemelu ni ife ka obo. If you dishonor mmụọ obodo unu, mmụọ na-echekwa ngwuru unu, mmụọ na-echekwa your ancestral family foundation, your town, ancestral homes, there will be problem for you. You understand? So spiritual veil, it comes with a spiritual aura that can disgrace you anywhere, publicly. The spirit brings retrogression, and no progress. People will continuously let you down. I don't know how best to explain this spiritual veil. The evil ones can do it to you. Witches and wizards can do it to you. Your own spiritual guides can do it to you. Especially when you have call to serve and you're not doing anything about it. You are being shown in the dream. You receive visitations. You see through vision. You hear with your ear. You see with your eyes. Yet you disregard. They're going to deal with you seriously. You will always experience spiritual stealing. Nobody sees anything good about you. Nobody talks anything good about you. There are spirits involved. You need to look within and find out. Most times you can do spiritual cleansing, it will relieve, but after some time it will continue. Because there are spirits that need you to appease them or that need you to align with them. Even your own mili, they can do that to you. Your spiritual spouse, whether spiritual husband or spiritual wife, they can do it to you. Ndị otu gị ọgbanje enu ani gị gbaa gị ụchụ. Ndị otu dada gị, they have that capacity. Ndị otu ọgbanje gị gbaa gị ụchụ mmụọ, and it will manifest in the physical. So it's not easy when you are constantly disgraced in life as a result of not being in good terms with your spirit. It's not easy. You have to be very, very careful. Like I said earlier, your spiritual guide like Ochinorogo can do that to you. Agu can do that to you. The revelational spirit, revelational force, Agu, force of creativity, can do it to you. The spirit of herbalism, Arabonago, can do it to you. It can almost turn you to a mad person. You experience loss of memory, especially if it is Agu. If it's Ndichie, they can do that to you. You'll be like a woman, you'll be like a man before other people. When men look at you, they see you as their fellow man. They don't see you as a woman. It happens. You should know this. Your marine spirit can do that, and this can result to spiritual covering. Ucho. Nisi mado. Some come with intense hatred. People will just hate you for nothing's sake. When your agu is unappeased, you see a lot of calamity on you. If you don't know, if you are not aligned with agu, if you have not pacified agu, we have not instituted and installed it. I remember those days. This thing did me shege banza. Front and back. When you see me, I look like an old woman. Tomorrow I will be sickly. Another time again, I will shine and glitter. The next moment, I wasn't even aware. Despite the fact that I'm in a spiritual church. Then, when I was still in Celestial Church, I wasn't even aware. Nobody could tell me. Especially Agu. Agu piam papa ajulaju. Even to the extent 50 naira I can't even see 50 naira. It was as if somebody is living from hand to mouth. Somebody that was a living testimony became a shadow of her former self. A rich woman became poor overnight due to that spiritual veil, spiritual covering. Do you know how many interviews that I went to? It got to a point that my brother was even saying, are you sure you are destined, sorry, are you sure you are destined to answer sir or ma to anybody in this life? That the way he's looking at me, and this and that is not for me. That is like I'll be a manager of my own. If you go to tata. But I'm still a nice young. I was adamant, very stubborn. Yes, I am a graduate. I must be relevant in today's world, in this 21st century. I can't just go and start, answering my call full time. No, now. Until I found out what was happening. So I'm just explaining to you that the uchu was very, very heavy. That's if you have seen a duvet, the duvet they use, during cold weather. The uchu was as thick and heavy as a duvet. On me, nothing. I will buy something new today if I manage to buy. The next moment, I've forgotten about it. It will be there, safe and sound. Not used, not even by me. It will appear as if something covered my eyes. I can't even see that. I was going to look for my old clothes. You understand? I was wearing my old clothes, but I have new and fashionable clothes. In my box, I have 3 big boxes filled with clothes. But I'll never go there. I'll just be going to where they sell okrika. I'm not saying that okrika is bad though. I was always looking like a mermaid. Ocho. Spiritual covering. Hell. Casting and binding is not going to solve it though. It's not going to set you free. The solution is to be in good terms with your spiritual guides. In alignment. Know the spirit that requires you to, pacify them. To make that appeasement. And there is something most of you don't understand when it comes to appeasement. When it comes to appeasement, you do it either monthly, 3 monthly, or every 6 months, depending on how you are in good terms with your ezumezu and oramuo. I hope you are listening. Depending on how you relate with them, depending on how they work for you, especially those who are choosing to serve, who are called to serve. It's not something you just do and you forget, just like ordinary ofeke. Oh, I have appeased my chi. For a long time, you will not remember again to do anything concerning your chi. You understand me? Not until it starts disturbing again. Or it starts coming out through afa. But for the initiate, we already know that we constantly need to be in good terms with our ezumezu and oramuo. Must. If you want to survive, if you want to excel in this dibiaship, you must. So when it comes to spiritual veil, the witches can do that to you. They will attack your future. They will put, how will I put it, a barricade, an obstacle before you. You can't escape that hurdle. You can't even jump it. To the extent that we will be walking like an elephant, yet you will be eating like an ant. Without being aware of the cause, without knowing that you are under spiritual veil, under spiritual covering, evil covering that will bring setback. Even for those called to serve, the uchu can cover their spiritual eyes. You no go see fly, when the fly pass. Afa gi anada iyara me iyara. Where afa will be like guesswork, not bam, straight to the point that this is what this person's problem is. That is spiritual covering for you. It will manifest physically, spiritually. Not to talk about emotionally, mentally, and academically. And I want to result to you. Instead of you to graduate with other people, you will not graduate with yourself. In a problem, missing result. That result is under spiritual cover. Except you find out, and they will now work on you. All the doors that have been closed against you will now open. That is when they will see that result. You understand? It can make a woman not to marry. They will never see you as any good person. Though you are not a bad person, no. There is nothing you do that is bad. But because of that spiritual covering, people will see you and it will look as if they have seen shit. It will look as if they have seen the worst person on earth. Spiritual covering. Ocho is not the one that you use, but you see alligator pepper and say you are removing this. Yeah? I'm not talking about that kind of ocho, so that you understand me properly. It's not the kind of ocho that you use alligator pepper to remove. It's not the kind of ocho that you use sea salt to remove. They need to work on you spiritually. Eh? They need to work on you spiritually. They need to appease and pacify spirit. If it's the one to use clothes, whether red cloth or black cloth or white cloth, whatever one they will use to remove that. If it's to use mirror to shatter the degree and magnitude of the uchu caused by monitoring spirits from the witchcraft coven, they will use the mirror. It's the one that you can do some sacrifice for them, maybe at a crossroad, T junction, Y junction, Z junction, 4 crossroad, depends. You will know. So there are so many ways of solving that problem. So many ways of removing that spiritual veil. It can entail you going to your river of incarnation to bathe. Maybe 3 times, 7 times, or every 4 days, or every 8 days, depending on the indigenous market day that the spirits, the ancestral spirits of that town or village operate. Some ore, it depends. That is why I say ordinary is not learnt on social media, because there are so many things you will not know about if you don't touch home, if you don't go to somebody that have that wealth of knowledge about ordinary Igbo spirituality. Though it is a continuous process, learning is a continuous process, you don't know everything. There are levels that when you attain spiritually, your spirit guide will comfort and reveal some things that they know you are now emotionally mature, spiritually mature to handle it and know about it and be in control. Because there is a kind of power that you'll be exposed to. You no go know yourself again. You go to think say now you be almighty. You go to think say without you, anything wey dem dey do no go get head. So they know at what point in time you attain that spiritual maturity so that they can reveal it to you. And you'll be in the know of that knowledge. Spiritual veil is very, very bad. It has caused so many setbacks in people. Tarnished their images, destroyed their vision and ambition in life. People with great destiny, they end up with no tangible achievement. The happily married ones, their marriage will hit the rock. Because there are some people who are meant to be dibias, but they don't know the kind of partner they have. They will be having clash in the spiritual realm. Then because of that person who is meant to be a liberator, that's a dibia, is married to somebody who does not understand his or her own tribe, spiritual tribe, there will be problem. The spirit following that person will use spiritual way to cover that person. Your spouse will now be seeing you as an enemy of progress. They will never see anything good about you. It's always fight. And I pure. They will not give you chopping money for food. If you talk, it will be as if that you have mouth odor, spiritual mouth odor. You really need to understand the spiritual aspect of things. And learn how to balance it, the spiritual side and the physical side. That is where when you learn how to balance it, things will work well. Though not everything that is spiritual, I always, balance everything I say before my audience. That you are sick, you should go to the hospital. Don't say because you are a dibia, you can't go to the hospital. No more. But there are some, because of the kind of spiritual height they have attained, waiting be sickness. Sickness not go even near them. Yeah. There are some people, because of the grace they carry, Imam Bangulu Fafa, because their spiritual guides reveal things to them, either in the form of dream or they come and talk to them. Arab Nago talk to their ears. They will show them. And they will have the wisdom to know what to do. There are people like that. And there are people that their body is filled with problems. So spiritual veil can also cover your business. Your mates, they will import things. It will arrive safely. When it comes to your own, your container go enter IC. It will fall in sink. It no go come to the destination. A lot of things that spiritual veil causes. Bad sales, you will see flies will become your customers. They will be the one perching on your goods, on your wares. Nothing you do will work well. So I would rather advise you to be spiritually conscious, spiritually inclined. You have to be woke. You have to be close to Chukwu Okike Abiama. You have to be in good terms, in alignment with your chi. Pacify more if you are on your ordinary. No, they do I too know. Something else might be the cause of that uchu. You'll be going to somewhere else thinking it's, some other spiritual guy that is the cause. If you're in good terms with your spiritual guy, there will be nothing like spiritual covering. They'll come and reveal things to you before it happens. They'll come and admonish you. They'll come and advise you so that your footstep will not slide. Other negative spirits will not come and torment you. So, for the temporary uchu that you can handle by yourself, you can do cleansing maybe for 7 days or 4 market days. It depends. That is where this one can come in. This also, what's it called? Sea salt. Sea salt, we have so many types. This one is just from the sea, the real sea. It hasn't been refined. This one has been refined because there is a difference. This one is as white as, and you see it. Both of them, they work. I said for Guinea, temporary ushu, the one that you can use spiritual bath and take care of. You now take your bath either with native sponge or gilishi leaves or nchuang or bitter leaf, or you can add grounded clove and little quantity of sea salt. You put it in your bathing water. Put 7 seeds of alligator pepper for female, 9 for male. You can also use perfume, 7 perfume, our Holy Michael perfume. or back to sender or Nolia. We have different varieties of spiritual perfume. Mariners love perfume. In fact, there is no element that does not work with perfume. Because when you're talking about air element, those sweet scents, your marine people, they love it. So after doing that spiritual bath, you don't have to dry your body. Don't ever dry your body if you do spiritual bath. It's very best done midnight. Huh? You wear a white clothes or blue or green, depending the one that has to do with your element. Some wear yellow, some red, some black, depending on your degree of spirituality. But for non-initiates, wear your white too. White stands for spirituality, purity, holiness. Then when you do that, your spiritual cleansing, but for like 4 market days or 7 market days, you have to give alms. Give out, give alms. Is a door opener. It will make your destiny to manifest. It has that ability to pacify those spirits that are after you, that gave you that covering. You understand? There is no spiritual work that is effective without giving or doing any spiritual sacrifice. Uchu ajoka. Then when it comes to that other uchu, that is of the higher degree, things are involved. It might require using male and female fowl. Okay, na nwunye ọkụkọ. The spiritual guy might require a ram, a cow, a goat. It depends. If it's your water people, they will say, "Bia zuola anya afia," so that they will stop tormenting you and covering you with that spiritual veil. Maybe your spiritual husband or spiritual wife